Hi, everyone. We are here for yet another live session. And this week, backed by popular demand, because you guys had brought in even more awesome questions, we thought we are going to focus on the questions. And then next week, we're going to introduce you to another team member of ours. However, this week, I've asked my amazing colleague and friend, Amir, to join me tackle these questions and hopefully help you guys navigate this crazy and amazing passion of ours we call real estate. And so with that, let's do it, Amir.
All right. Hello, everyone. Let's get started. I'm going to read the questions. And Anna, if you may, you can start responding. We have plenty of questions from many people from Toronto and Ottawa. I'm just going to read the mix and get it started. First question is from Ali. He's asking, what is the first step of the home buying process? Anna, please.
So Ali, thank you so much for the question. First of all, congratulations for thinking about homeownership. If you are thinking about homeownership, the very first thing that you need to think about is how much can I actually be able to borrow? Okay. Now you can borrow obviously from the banks, but also there's other types of ways where you can borrow, and we can talk about that on later sessions when we touch on mortgages, and we'll get our mortgage broker in as well. But when it comes to the first step would be your mortgage, but also you need to know why you're getting into the real estate market, like what your needs are, you and your family's needs are. What is it that you want to achieve, right? Have a clear picture. If you're just buying it to buy a property because you're renting, that's a great reason. Okay. So definitely I would say the first thing you need to think about is your mortgage, as well as, unless you're like multimillionaire and you're purchasing stuff cash. But when it comes to the next thing is need to know why you're buying and what your needs are. Amir, what do you
Yeah,
think?
no, I agree. Determining the budget, uh, having the pre-approval is an initiative that is, foretaken for a lot of buyers. They just try to bypass it, but that's very key to determine that. And it also it's a dual sword. It shows the seller that you're serious about this. You're not gonna go just to get the financing. So it's advantageous, if you may. So I see also that as a first step, and obviously the motive and all that I concur with that too. Now, kind of leads to the next question here when Samantha is asking, what does a realtor do when I'm buying a home? What is our job essential? I think that's what she's asking.
Yeah.
But I think it's, as a professional, our job is to walk you through the whole purchasing process from the beginning till the end. Uh, Smooth transaction, smoothness. It shouldn't be a painful, you're not peeling the onion and you're crying. I'm going to give you a piece of gum so you can chew it. That's the trick for you not to, start crying. So if you're working with a professional, to have that expert advice, it's cool. It's, I recommend it. That's what I would say. I'm not gonna go and drive a vehicle, from someone who is not an engineer. It doesn't bypass, certain things. So that's how I would see it. Would you see it differently, or?
No, I think first of all, I want to say thank you, Samantha, for such a good question. Reason why I say it's such a good question is because I think a lot of people are confused why we need a realtor. We can just go about, calling different signages and look at homes, have access to homes. What can a realtor do when it comes to purchasing a home? And And a lot of the times they think, well, I can do a better job finding a home than my realtor. It's not just about finding the home, which, by the way, that is a very important aspect of what it is that we do. It's important that you have a realtor that is, first of all, very seasoned and is doing a lot of transactions in the marketplace today, not last month, not last year, not 10 years ago. Okay. When it comes to experience, it's important to work with people that do volume and know what is happening in the marketplace and can help you navigate through the marketplace, because market changes very, very quickly. Market can be, market can be tilted a little bit towards buyers and tilted a little bit towards sellers. Okay. So it's important for you to know, and it could be tilted towards buyers one week versus tilted towards sellers the other week. It's that, it's that volatile, I would say. So it's important for you to know of a realtor who is seasoned, and this realtor can be able to align what your needs are with what it is the market presents. Or if the market doesn't present, they have resources where they can actually find you those properties outside of the marketplace. And, a lot of the times we do that. We don't just rely on what is out there. Sure, we can show you homes that are listed by all real estate companies. So like, there's a for sale sign somewhere. We can go ahead and share those homes with you. We can open the doors for you. Working with one realtor also helps you build that bond between them, so they can get to know you better, know what your needs are, know what it is that you like and you don't like, match their schedule with yours, so you have somebody that is there for you whenever you're available, as opposed to you having to coordinate all of these different realtors with their signages, and figure out when they're available with when you're available. And from all the real estate community, I would say we would all thank you for doing that, because a lot of the times traditional realtors, the way it operates is like, they get a call coming in and then they leave their families in the middle of a birthday or dinner or what have you to go show you the property. It's not fair to them and it's not fair to you. You're not getting the best service, and they are feeling like, why did you just pull me out of everything that was happening to come show you the property? So having a realtor is, for yourself, you're doing yourself a lot of favor, because that realtor gets to know exactly what it is you're looking for, be able to protect you along the way. So finding the property is one thing, then protecting you along the way. There, by the time you end up putting an offer through, right? Again, why I say you want someone that is looking in the market, like that is done volume in this marketplace, is because the market changes a lot of the times. The conditions and the clauses change all the time as well. It's sometimes where, you cannot put, like, market is so fast that we know sellers will not accept conditions, right? Or we make sure that we tailor conditions to what is acceptable with the market. What do I mean by that? Sometimes we can ask for a longer conditional period, and sometimes we have to ask for a little timeline, right? So working with a realtor, they'll know to do the how do you say, like, do the prepare you.
Preliminary
Okay,
work.
do the preparation. Yeah, do the preparation before you get into the marketplace. You know what I mean? Kind of like, you're about to cook. Restaurants, right before they're about to open up, they do all this prep work, right? Same thing. We're going to do all this prep work. So as you're getting into the marketplace, you are fully armed, you're ready to go, and you are going to look like the best buyer that seller wants to accept. Because it's not just when the market is like, okay, the house has been in the market for a long time, and then you want to go in and negotiate. which is great as well. I'm not saying those homes are not, you know, sometimes you find great homes there as well, but also homes that barely make it to the marketplace. How do you, you know, equip yourself to go and fight and grab that home, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to miss out on these great opportunities. And that's the reason why you need a realtor.
Yeah, and if you don't have a realtor, it's just let's assume you're doing everything yourself. It's just going to be not a smooth transaction. It's going to be a smooth less transaction because you're not going to enjoy it. You're going to go to the bottom pain. So that's I agree on that. Now the next question is from Nina. She's asking, can I buy and sell my home at the same time? Yeah, the golden question in real estate. Of course you can, but let Anna talk about that. Go ahead, Anna, please.
Yeah, so absolutely, Lena, and people do it all the time. In fact, when you get into real estate, the very first home is either going to be a home that you're going to use as a trading card to move into the next, or it's going to be an investment property. But more often than not, you're actually going to be moving up from that property. So you're moving into another property. Or if you're later on in your life, you're actually moving down. So you're going into a smaller property. So people do it all the time where they're buying and selling. However, again, you need to make sure that you're working with a seasoned realtor who can help you navigate the marketplace. Sometimes it's better for you to buy first before sell. And sometimes it's better for you to sell before buy. Obviously, this can't happen a lot. And we need to figure out, measure the marketplace. In a slower marketplace, you have months and months, and in a very, very rapid, volatile marketplace, you need a short period to be able to do all of these different things. And we can also put in conditions where you're protected. So what do I mean by that? We can put condition. This purchase is conditional on the sale of your current property, or the sale of my property is conditional on me being able to secure a certain property. Okay, so these conditions can be placed into your agreement of purchase and sale. And you want to make sure when you're doing these two different movements that you have your financing in place as well. So there's this thing called, again, I'm not talking to the folks that are purchasing cash, and there are a lot of you guys out there. Whenever that happens, where questions are coming in, we will answer those questions as well. But this is for majority of folks that need financing. And so when it comes to financing, you need to make sure your financing is in place. A lot of the times people go to their bank and, their bank is like, oh yeah, no problem. We'll take care of financing. And you know what? They don't understand the full thing, right? Coming to your realtor with that idea, that realtor should be able to answer your question. Better yet, having a mortgage broker, your mortgage broker will be able to decipher through and tell you, hey, you know what? Your bank is actually giving you a good deal, or no, your bank is actually going to set you up for failure. And we have seen it happen in many cases, doesn't matter which part of your life you're in. So I've seen it happen with seniors where they have gone ahead and signed forms with the bank, where the bank said, hey, you know what? No problem. Go ahead and purchase that property, and you can sell this property whenever. However, whenever means that you only have like a certain period, like 6 months. After that, they're going to bite into your home equity with their crazy interest rates. So they're going to get you into programs where it's not beneficial to you. Again, I think it was Samantha, you need a seasoned realtor who knows what they're doing, but not just a seasoned realtor. You need a whole team of realtors, because each one of us have a different experience, and their experience happens as a result of volume, as a result of dealing and having different conversations. There's not one day in real estate that we go and we don't find out something new that's happened, whether it is through our appraiser, through our mortgage, through our lawyer, legal, or just talking to folks like you. Okay, so we're here to navigate this whole marketplace for you. When it comes to bridge financing, for instance, Amir, as you know, the two properties need to be sold firm, not conditional, firm. Okay, there are so many things when it comes to purchase and sale that you want to make sure that you're protected throughout. Okay, assignment sales. Is it okay to put an assignment clause or not? Does it protect you? Does it protect you as a buyer? Does it protect you as a seller to accept an offer with such a clause in there? So these are things, these are intricacies in the marketplace that is super, super, super important for you, because you're about to get into the most expensive transaction in your life, quite frankly, right? It could be anywhere between, you know, $500,000 starting in Ottawa to $1 million starting in Toronto. So you want to make sure that you're full on protected. And
Yeah.
so, yes, do people do this? Yes, absolutely. We do it all the time. We make sure that the timeline's fixed so that it's smooth sailing. Okay. We do the prep work, but come to us with all your situations. Like, I can't tell you so many times we do consults, by the way, before we go out to list your home or buy a home together. We do consults, and the more transparent you are in your consults, what is going on in your mind for us, our team. I can't say for other agents, but for our team, the more transparent you are with us, the more we can help you. Okay, so, and everything remains confidential. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
That is, yeah, that's correct. As long as you're being in coordination with, you know, your realtor so that we can negotiate and do the careful planning for your move, that will be the job. Yeah, you can take care of that. You can buy and sell at the same time.
Yes.
That's not an issue. Okay, let's go up to the next question. That was a little bit more in depth than I thought it'd be.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Marie asks, what happens if I change my mind about a home? Now, I'm assuming this is when you made an offer on the house and you're moving forward, or maybe not, but maybe you can kind of get into depth on that one too before
Yeah.
closing, all that.
Absolutely. So, I mean, if you change your mind about a home, okay, first of all, I think that we need to know, we need a little bit more information there, Marie, whether this happened after you removed conditions, before you removed the conditions. So obviously, if it's before you remove the conditions, then you know what? Speak with your realtor, and your realtor will or should be able to remedy this situation. Okay. However, if it's happened after, right, there's also ways to remedy the situation. Again, seasoned realtors know, but it's case to case basis. If it's happened with a builder, again, that is the reason why you need a realtor, to make sure that your interests are protected. People think I'll just walk into a builder's office or I'll just call the listing agent. Guys, you're about to purchase like the craziest, biggest thing. Why would you just go into your, like, throw yourself in the shark's tank? Literally, you know, they're not there. The seller is not there. The builder is not there to protect you. But as an agent, if you have your own agency, your own representative, your representative is there to protect you. Why? Because your representative, most representatives, care about their reputation. If they do a good job for you, like for us, we want to do a good job because it's going to help us with our mission, which is to be the best place to work, buy and sell real estate, as well through elevating your lives and through protecting and making sure that we are doing what is necessary for us for our worthy causes. Okay, so we have worthy causes that we stand behind and we give back to the community. Very important to us. Now, your realtor wants to have we want to have a good reputation, because by us having a good reputation, you're going to tell everybody about us. You are never going to think about anybody else when it comes to real estate. You had a great result with us. You're going to tell everybody about us. We have so many raving fans, and thank you guys. I know some of you are watching here, so thank you. But so there's a little shout out to you guys. But bottom line is that you absolutely need the protection of your realtor. There are cases where you are not able to walk away from the home. Okay, so that's why it brings us back to the first step. Why are you getting into real estate? What are your needs? Be clear on that. Now, of course, there are situations where it happens, in people's lives, where that's a completely different story. And again, if you are working with someone who's seasoned, they'll be able to get you in touch with the right people, meaning the right lawyer, real estate lawyer, to help you navigate through that. And you know what? There have been many cases, and I'm telling you, there are a lot of them we've already seen. What's a way out of certain situations?
Yeah, obviously the realtor that is working with you, the professional, can give you advice and the best course of action custom for you, because everybody's different, right? And just negotiate with the seller to make sure that the purchase happens. That's the best way. Now, let's get to the next question. I think I'm pronouncing the gentleman's or lady, correct me if I'm wrong. Ebo is asking, how do I know if I'm ready to buy a home? I'll take a go at this one. I think you've had the pleasure of doing a passive view.
Yes.
So how do I know? Well, the best way for you to know that you're ready to make the purchase, let's say, determining factor, there should be a couple of factors here. One of them is your financial stability to be able to carry the mortgage and so on and so forth. That's the big one. We all know that. But there are other factors here as well. For instance, the readiness to be homeowner. There is a responsibility with it. And obviously your realtor can walk you through some of them depending on the type of home ownership you're getting yourself involved with. But another factor that you were touching that we can touch a little, because it's kind of lead to the next question. I can see it from here. It talks about the long-term plan. Well, if I don't, everybody loves to be in the house. And that's the way I see it. I'm ready to be, but if I'm not ready and if I don't have the funds, then I won't be able to buy, right? So that I understand that actually leads to the next question, which is renting and buying. So maybe we can get into both of them at the same time. But that is the question that is Raj is asking. So let's first answer Ebo's question first, and then maybe get into Raj after. So how do I know if I'm ready to buy a home? I'll say when you're working with your realtor and mortgage broker, we're going to be able to do an assessment to see your readiness, your financial capabilities, to see where we're standing, and walk you and guide you through this process of becoming a homeowner. That's what if you're ready to buy a home or not. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. So when it comes to whether or not you're ready to buy a home, it really all comes down to yourself, right? If you are thinking about home ownership, and you can find out if you are financially capable to carry the expenses of a home, then chances are you are. Okay. I mean, we all need shelter, right? It's just like food, shelter, we need shelter. And so getting into home ownership is the best thing you can do for yourself. So I would say if you can match what your minimal needs are with what you can qualify for, okay, financially, then you're ready to get into home ownership.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to the next one where Raj is asking, should I buy instead of renting?
So I would say between purchase and rent, you absolutely should buy. Okay. If you are renting, you are paying somebody else's mortgage, or you are making some corporation, money basically, because all these like rental buildings, they're run by a corporation. Okay. So if you can get into home ownership 100%, get into it, because having a home, it's like having a trading card. Okay. You have something to trade in to your next purchase. All right. And 100% of what you pay towards rent goes to not your investment. Okay. Whereas, a lot of people these days, they talk about, oh, what interest rate this and that, and so on and so forth. It doesn't matter if the interest rate is 5 or 10%. Bottom line is, if you're renting, 100% of what you're paying is going away. Okay. So you're worried about the 5-10%. Here you are giving 100% of the money away. All right. So, I would say absolutely get into it, because when you purchase, not only the market, I mean, I've seen it in Toronto, I've seen it in Ottawa. Market does like this. So whatever you put in, the price goes up in 5 years. And in 5 years, you've also built equity. Okay. Because you're paying into your mortgage. Sure, mortgages are front loaded, meaning all the interests are at the beginning and not the end. Well, there is some at the end, but as you continue on in your term, you're paying more mortgage, you're paying less mortgage and more towards your principal balance. And so what's happening is that you are actually better off getting into homeownership.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
For some cases, obviously financial situation is a big factor, but their lifestyle. Some people are downsizing. So they actually, it makes sense for them to come and rent in certain areas prior to finding a location. Or we were talking about this earlier, and elderly people, that are, coming out of their they don't want to move out of their current place. You know what I mean? It's easy for them to, work with an investor to, purchase and stay in there and rent. So for those people, becoming a tenant makes sense. So again, a realtor that you're working with can help you weigh out, do an assessment for you to answer all the questions that we're going through. But still, we try to take because then we have to get in depth, and each of them is, for every individual, is going to be different. So don't take this that, hey, we're just saying this or we're just saying that. We're saying that in general, but obviously have a direct conversation with us, so that way we could give you, when we weigh it out, we can give you pros and cons of each option. That way you can make an informed decision, right?
Absolutely.
Perfect. All right,
Yes.
let's get to the next question now. Miha is asking, what is the difference between a mortgage broker and a mortgage representative?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I'll let you take a go at it.
Yeah. So a mortgage broker is someone who is kind of like us, okay? Except they take care of your financial needs when it comes to purchase. All right. Purchasing a property or real estate. Now, I also want to say that a lot of people confuse real estate brokers with mortgage brokers. These are not the same. Mortgage brokers take care of your mortgage needs. Real estate brokers are like real estate agents who have a little bit more credentials, but they are still taking care of your real estate needs, meaning finding you a home, helping you sell your home, and things like that. Okay. So going back to the question, I just wanted to take this opportunity to talk about that because I had a call yesterday and we were talking about that a little bit. So the difference between a mortgage broker is that mortgage brokers, much like us, work in a mortgage brokerage, okay, where they have access to 40, or sorry, I would say 30 to 80 plus lenders, mortgage lenders, some of which you know, and some of them you don't know because those lenders just particularly work like their only specialty is mortgage lending. Okay, they don't have any other banking products. And so that's mortgage brokers for you. Mortgage representatives, they work for the bank. So for instance, think of any of the banks that you guys bank here with in Canada, whether it be TD, RBC, Scotia, BMO, and what have you. You go into a bank and you say, I'm looking for mortgage. They're going to give you a mortgage representative of theirs to tell you, yes, these are the products we offer. Now, there is a difference between these two because a mortgage representative works banking hours and they only have access to their bank's products. A mortgage broker works like us. A lot of the times transactions happen in the evenings and weekends. They don't happen during, during broad daylight, right? People start looking at homes after work and during the weekend. So that's when you need a mortgage broker, and a responsive one to say, because a lot of the times we want to make sure that the property you're getting into is actually, you're qualified for it. Again, it gives us ammunition to be able to fight for you and negotiate for you. So I think all of us here in our team, we believe in mortgage brokers. And of course, we're going to invite our mortgage broker to do a segment with you guys. But until then, that's the difference between mortgage brokers and mortgage representatives. Now, the other thing with mortgage representatives is that they only can sell you on the products they have. So obviously they want to do that for you. They just want you to lock into their products, kind of like builders. If you go to a builder's office, the representative there only has access to that builder's products. They don't have access to all the different builders' products and resales and foreclosures and off-market stuff. And they only work certain hours, and they're not there to protect you. They are employed by the bank or they're employed by the builder. So they're there to sell the product. What we do here is we want to make sure that we are representing you, we're protecting you. We want to make sure that you get the best deal there is. So when it comes to mortgage brokers, the nice thing with them is that they're able to shop on your behalf and they know what different products are there. So they'll be able to match you with, based on your financial needs, with the right mortgage product out there.
Yeah,
and
I
so
agree.
basically the difference.
Putting the lender or finding the right lender for the borrower is the mortgage broker's responsibility. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
And they work independently, so they're not tied to a bank, which, may not usually give you the best option because it's take it or leave it option. That's the way I see it. So yeah, that was a through and through for the distinct mortgage representative and broker. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Leads to the next question from Blessing, which is asking, what are the different ways I can qualify for a mortgage? Well, I'm just gonna let you take a pause. Briefly, I'll touch it, and then I'll let you open them up and get into the explanation. But qualifying for a mortgage, there are simple stuff. Having a good credit score, we talked about stable income. That's another thing. Obviously, having sufficient down payment to qualify for that. I do believe having a low debt to income ratio is another one. that's going to be helping you to get the best financing. There's some alternative option for borrowers that don't meet this traditional requirements, if you will, but consulting with a mortgage broker here is another professional that can help you explore some of these options, determining the best course of action for you, and then, approach the situation based on that, right? That's how I see it. Do you see this? Do you want to add on to this?
I mean, no, pretty much like to qualify for mortgage is making sure that you have access to the right people, right? Mortgage broker, someone who knows what they're doing. It's not, they didn't get licensed yesterday. And, it's not unseen where, the bank says, oh yeah, you don't qualify. And then suddenly you go to talk to a mortgage broker and you qualify and come back to your bank, and then they suddenly qualify you for a better deal or something else. So this happens all the time. What are the different ways you can qualify for mortgage? Exactly what you said, Amir. So good credit is important. Having down payment is important. Employment is important. Proof of employment is important. And, frankly, nowadays for rentals, they also check for these different things as well, which is really, really crazy, very competitive, but that's what you need for mortgage. And then there are different mortgage products out there for you. Again, you need to be able to talk and be connected with the right mortgage representative to help you with this. But there are A lenders, B lenders, privates. And again, because I am not a mortgage licensee, I can't really talk about it, but we can tell you what is it that they are going to require from you. They're going to need you to fill out an application. Based on what you say over there, they'll give you a pre-qualification. And of course, they will need the documents for you to, like, so for instance, let's say if you're making X amount of dollars, you need to be able to supply them with documents stating that you are making this amount. If you're saying you are going to have this much down payment, you have to show a proof of fund in your bank statement. Okay. But this is, so this is very, very, this is a whole segment on its own, I think. But just to give you an overview, that's how you would qualify. Get in touch with a mortgage broker. We can get you in touch with an amazing mortgage broker. Doesn't matter if you're in Canada or the States, we certainly can get you in touch with someone. And it doesn't matter, again, purchasing a home, getting into home ownership, you want to get the right people involved. You see all these little dots behind us? These are all the different locations that we have access to, and it keeps on expanding. So some of you guys may be watching from California and you're like, well, you're not in California. I'm not sure if you can help me. We absolutely can. In fact, yesterday, Amir sent someone over to Maryland, right? So that's what it is. We have access to the right people in right places where they can give you the best expert advice in that location.
Perfect. Okay, we're running a little bit of short on time, so let me read the next question now. The next couple of questions follow. Next one is from Billy. How long is a typical closing when it comes to purchasing a home? So please elaborate on that.
Yeah, so this is I guess we moved to seller questions, which is great because I was wondering, let's help some of our sellers out there. So the typical closing is, I would say, anywhere from 21 days to 30 to 60 days is the typical closing date, depending on your needs. We've had purchasers or sellers that need to sell quickly, or buyers that need to purchase quickly. And so we can align all of that. But the typical is generally you can close as quick as 21 days if you're financing. Of course, if you're purchasing cash much quicker, like 2 weeks. I've seen 10 days even. But yeah, that's what I would say your typical
Okay.
closing date
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
I'm gonna add to say that there is a complexity factor when it comes to the transactions. So that depends, like you said, which I agree on that. Let's get to the next question. John is asking, do I have to disclose if I have a leak in my basement and I'm selling my house? Uh, let me,
Good question.
yeah, let me just say from the right off the bat, I say yes. Why wouldn't you want to disclose? However, it is advising, from my perspective, is that if you're disclosing a known issue of the property, then you should know that, okay, this was the issue. This is the actions that I took to remedy it. This is where we are right now. That's how I see it from the clear and being transparent. Failing to disclose this, right? And then coming later down the line, and then the buyer finds out they did know this. You were aware of this situation, so you choose not to disclose it. Now you're asking for legal situations to arise. And that's one of the things I always said on the last podcast. I think we said that too, peace of mind. That's how I would see it. But up to the seller, our job is to educate and to, advise. But that's how I would see it. Do you see it differently, or how do you see that?
100% agree. I think honesty is the best policy. I think that transparency is the best when it comes to especially selling something so big like a home. Okay. You have to, I would say, you should disclose everything and anything about your home. And there's two sides to it. First of all, the legal aspect of it, which is, yes, you have to share any kind of material defect, meaning leak in your basement or a rot, or of issues that maybe they can't see it through the inspection, through naked eye, but they're going to find out about it, right? So you need to share anything and everything about your home, because if you don't, and in a few years they find out about it, now you're again asking for trouble, because people can and will go after things, especially when it comes to a big investment. Now the next thing is the piece about being honest, right? The saleability, the feature. For me, when I'm working with a buyer, right, and I see that they say, oh yeah, we had I don't know, a little crack here and there and we fixed it, and here's the proof of work that was done, and we haven't had any issues. You're actually protecting yourself, because in the future, you said that I did tell you. Now, if something happened, there was some kind of a shift or whatever. Nowadays, sometimes there is we get crazy weather some days, we're in Canada, and things happen with the home, then that's a different story. But you have already disclosed it, you protected yourself. And when I'm working with a buyer and I see somebody saying things about their home, then it gives me the peace of mind, because I'm like, if they were that particular to share this with you, that's a good sign. Like, you want to get into business or business transactions or dealings with people that are honest and upfront. And so
100%.
that is what it is, I absolutely say go for it, share it, and let them do what needs to get done.
I
Okay.
guess you kind of answered the next question
Oh.
without knowing. Yeah, they're asking, Tadia was asking, same kind of situation. Should I fix my roof before I sell my home? Well, obviously, I'm assuming that they're in a bad condition and all that. I'm just gonna say that the curb appeal and fixing the roof is gonna improve an overall value to the selling price, because now there isn't an issue with our home. It's been fixed. So that's how I see it. But it could also mean that the extent of the damage is so much that the cost of fixing it's overcoming the seller. So that might be the deterrent factor from getting that side fixed, or knowing that there are other things that are underlaying that situation. That's how I see it. But yeah, do you
Yeah,
nothing is
I think like what you're saying is, yeah, I think like depending on obviously your financial capabilities, first of all, there's an issue with your roof, it looks like. If there wasn't any problem, because roofs generally last like what, like 25 years or something like that. So the regular the asphalt shingles, they last about that time. Now sometimes they say like, oh, it can last 40 years. Shingles, like realistically, like 25 years. Okay, you can get out of your roof, not metal roof, just like your regular roofs. But when it comes to like should I fix my roof? So there is an issue with your roof. You've recognized that there is an issue. If you can you're financially capable to fixing your roof, you absolutely should, because it's gonna make your home that much more sellable, right? A lot of these roofing companies give you a transferable warranty. Again, I would say absolutely get those. They say, you know what, we'll charge you, I don't know, I'm just throwing numbers. They'll charge you like 15,000 cash. We know this is happening with tradespeople. Or we'll charge you like 17,000 with a transferable warranty. I would say get the transferable warranty, because it's going to help you make the inspection part go really well, and it increases the value of the home. Other times I've seen where people are not financially capable, right, Amir, where they're like selling their home, they're not able to do it. Well, either you're going to have to take a hit on the purchase price, or here's another way. I'm going to give you another solution. You can say to the buyer, look, this is the price of the home, and it's going to include a brand new roof by the time you purchase it. So we are going to basically pay a roofing company to come in. Here's a quote. We're going to pay the roofing company to come and fix the roof for you guys. So you're going to have a brand new roof with a transferable warranty. And again, beautiful. That's a way to go about it. A lot of the times there are like other items in the home that are rented. I know in Ontario, those of you that are not in Ontario, you're going to find it like crazy. But most homes in Ontario, builder built brand new homes, we're renting hot water tanks, right? And the hot water tank there is it's like $700, and we pay like anywhere between 20 to 60 bucks for it, right? Of course, if it's a tankless or whatever high capacity, there's a variation in price, but we rent it. But I have seen there are homes where, let's say, the furnace is out and the owners can't buy a brand new furnace, because furnaces cost about like $4,000 or give or take. So for a new furnace, what they do is they go to these companies and they say, hey, you know what? I will finance it, or I will rent it. And then the new owner is like, well, I don't want to rent it. Furnaces come with a home. I don't have to rent it. So what the seller, a lot of the times we propose the seller does is buy it out at closing. So at closing, what is the buyout amount? And then make sure that same thing with your roof, guys. So you can do that with a roof as well.
Yeah, that's a
I
really
don't
good
think you can
approach.
finance it, but you can make sure that you take care of it at closing. So you have some money coming in and bam, you're taking care of it.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, let's get to the next one. That was Tanya that was asking. Thank you for
Thank
that
you,
question.
Tanya.
Next one is Andre is asking, if I were to sell, what would be the best time of the year to do so?
Good one.
So I'm gonna say depending on local market condition, let's just say, because Toronto is
Yeah.
right now, for instance, like if you're selling your condo, it's advised not to. You're sitting in a seller's buyer's market. because inventory is past 7, months of inventory. That's an example for that. So if you were talking to me about your condo investment, Andre, in downtown Toronto, I mean, do call us. We're in the business of, selling. We will list it, not an issue, but we will try to advise you maybe at a different time. However, spring and early summer trends are popular times for selling. You agree, Anna, on that? Or
Yeah,
yeah.
I would say, sorry, what did you say? What was the,
So the question is, if
no, I know the question, but what did you say? Sorry.
early summer, right,
Uh-huh,
and spring are
right.
usually the popular times to sell, to put your
Mhm, mhm,
properties out
mhm.
for sale. But
Right.
obviously consulting with the realtor to determining that, optimal time for their specific situation. I just use an example of what I was using, saying that if you're in a condo and your specific market condition here in Toronto, which is right now, is that there's a surge of condos in the market, there's not enough buyer to absorb. So therefore, if you really, really need to, yes, we're gonna put it on the market. That's what we do. But if you really don't need to sell, then this is not the time for that specific property to hit the market unless you really need to. That's what I was referring to.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'd say that everything you said, so spring is generally traditionally the time that a lot of inventory come into the market and buyers are out and about. But realistically, the best time to sell your home is the best time that you are ready to sell your home, because no matter what you do, if you're purchasing, you're going to have to do a parallel move anyway, right? You're selling and you're buying. So, you kind of have to do those things simultaneously. So I'd say the best time to sell your home is the time you're ready. There are some times in the year that, unlike what people think, they're actually good times to sell, like during Christmas time. During Christmas time, the buyers that are out there shopping, they're the most serious and most qualified I have ever seen. And so really great, and the inventory is low. So if your home is nice, presented well, priced well, marketed well, bam, you're going to be able to get the best price for your home.
I agree on that. I agree.
Yeah.
I have quite a bit of questions, actually, another 10 or 15 that have arrived, but I do believe we are running short on time. We're almost at
Yeah.
that hour. So I want to
Absolutely.
apologize to, I had actually 3 that I had asked. I did mention that we were going to go over. So Mustafa, Mona, and Hafiz, I do apologize. We'll get to your questions on the next time. I'm going to address them first. I'm going to make sure they're on the top of the list with the questions. And thank you, Anna, for taking the time to going through all the questions and details. It was very insightful for me too, for some of them. And yeah, appreciate them.
No, I think that it was so great that everybody brought in their questions. And you know what? This hopefully gets some of you guys out there that are thinking about real estate and have your questions to kind of make you feel comfortable and bring in any question that you have. There are no stupid questions. We love what we do. If we can help you make the best decision for your family in real estate, this is what our mission is. We want to make sure that all your questions are answered. You go in full on, knowing exactly what to get into, what you're getting into, and how to get into it with who, and make sure that you're protected, because nothing bothers us more than hearing people have had really bad experiences in the marketplace, whether it was through the market or other people that they've worked with. So the mission of this was really to help you navigate the marketplace, give you as much information as you can possibly get. And, even if there is any kind of repetition of questions, that's totally okay. We are here to help you guys. Okay. And you know what? Hey, Amir, thank you so much for coming on the live with me today. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you
The
for sharing,
pleasure. Looking
everybody.
forward for plenty more. Don't worry, it's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for doing this. Looking forward for the next one, and let's bring the rest of the teammates here so we can do this as a group next time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you guys. Have an amazing rest of the week and let's see you next week. Bye for now.
Bye.